Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm going to break this down today because the most common thing I've heard in recent weeks, months, with interest rates jumping is rent versus own, because consumers are putting home buying on ice, okay, with interest rates going up. But I want to break this down, rent versus own, okay? One really important thing to note is that the demand for rentals year over year, the demand has grown 19%, and that translates into lease prices, okay? For single family homes in Houston, year over year, August 2021 to August 2022, when we closed, single family rentals went up about 7.5%, and townhomes went up almost 10%. So keep that in mind as we do this exercise. So rent versus own. If right now, if you're renting $3,000 a month, okay, and you wanted to, and you've saved up money to put monies down, there's more upfront costs, of course, with buying a home, but you've decided, okay, but we want to stay within this budget. Okay, so $3,000 a month for buying a home. That would get you about a $400,000 home with 20% down. And this is assuming 7% interest rate, okay? So we're giving benefit of the doubt right now to the renters, okay? I'm using very conservative numbers. Right now, the interest rate is not 7%, in other words. But I projected out, maybe it goes up to 7%. Okay, so 7%. Okay, so then in the time of renting, okay, where do you break even with the monies then of like, oh, that's great, Joanne, putting 20% down, and then I've got maintenance costs and all these things, and that's a valid point. 3% year appreciation. We're going to talk about how prices going up. If you've invested in something, property value, your property appreciating value is a wonderful thing, okay? So let me skip over to this side. 3% a year is very modest. Really, on average, I would say in my 15 years in real estate, that average looks more like 4 to 5%, okay? I'm scrapping the last 2 years. 18%, no, okay? But 4 to 5% on average. So I'm using a very conservative number of your home appreciating year to year. So 3%. Most people would say about 5%, okay? 3% a year for your lease amount, right? Because your landlord's going to come walk in, when your lease expires and say like, hey, I'm upping the rent. On average, I just shared numbers. It's gone up just this last year, 7 to 10%. I'm using a very favorable number, very low, 3%. Okay, so in actuality, that number's higher, okay? This number is maybe a little bit higher. Last year, that's been a lot higher. And with the economy being what it is, that's likely to go higher than 7 to 10%, okay? So your break even, 4.5 to 5 years in terms of multiply that out by the number of months, okay? So, and then down here, what do you have? You have zero equity. Here you have 160,000 in equity, okay? Net proceeds, if you were then to sell and move up, you're probably looking at, with broker fees and everything, probably, low 100s. So I say, okay, what did they say, Jessica? I'm gonna throw it on. Math is mathing?
Math is mathing.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, next, guys, we're gonna talk about wealth accumulation. The cornerstone for building wealth is investing in a home.